All right, Arnold, what kind of brewski you got for us today? Tell me you didn't finish it.
No, obviously not. I've been baby sipping it. Do we want to do the intro to our channel or just go straight into beer?
I was just gonna chit chat.
Uh, well, I have this beer I've never heard of. I'd be surprised if anyone has, unless you live in North Carolina. It's Red Oak Bavarian Amber Lager. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little sneak peek into my preview. I'm not that big a fan.
I can tell how you like barely show that off.
Yeah.
I was doing this like little side hustle thing I found, and I got to pick up a free case of Bud Light. These new Bud Lights, pretty interesting stuff. They're like, I'm not a big fan of Bloody Marys, but that's kind of what they taste like. Bloody Marys. Some have mango, some lime. Better than a Bloody Mary, I will say, but
I've never
still,
been a fan
tastes
of
like
Bloody
tomato
Marys.
juice.
Yeah, they're just not really my thing. I've never been drinking my
Yeah.
tomato soup and having a grilled cheese and like, you know what this could use? Half a liter of vodka
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
with a celery
Same.
stick sticking out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't even look appealing to me, man. With ice, yeah. No, the whole concept. Whoever thought of it,
Yeah,
psychopath.
absolute
But-
alcoholic.
Now what the hell's an NFT? Apparently cryptocurrency. Everyone's making so much money. Can you please explain what's an NFT?
Back to the content you guys want.
Oh yeah.
So,
We'll be discussing NFTs, some of the projects we like, some of the traits we like. If you've been keeping up with our channel, you know we've created a bit of a mini series on this stuff. So we're going to try and be not too repetitive over the stuff we've already covered in those videos, but there could be some possible overlap. But we'll just be talking about kind of our view and on the space. And heads up, we're not endorsing any of these projects. We're not like being paid by any of these projects to promote them. We're not telling you to buy any of the projects that we mention here. These are just some of the ones that have kind of piqued our interest. You know, we're not professional financial advisors or anything like that. So just wanted to put that out there before people come at me like, I bought into this project. I bought like 30 of them. I spent like 10 ETH. You know, now they're worth
Good.
half of that. So, you know.
yeah, no. So what's your favorite project right now? What's something you've seen and you're like, that's creative. I'm gonna look a little bit more into that.
Well, one that just kind of came out of nowhere was this. It's kind of a concept or trait that I've seen kind of being ran by this one project called Steppen. It's actually move to earn. Like play to earn games have been very common in this space for a while, but move to earn is something I just recently discovered. I don't know how, because this particular project is pretty big. They're on the Solana blockchain, so maybe that's why they're a little less known. Ethereum is still the major kind of network that people are operating on, but Steppen, they have like different ones. It's like they have a bunch of shoe NFTs, and come in 3 different categories, like walker, jogger, and runner. And
there's a trainer one.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know what you are. It's 1 to like 20.
Mm-hmm. And you can just simply earn their token, like their token that exists on their ecosystem, that you can convert to whatever, cryptocurrency that you want. But you just simply move to earn. If you run while you're on the app and everything, you're earning money. And
Yeah.
conceptually,
You
it's
actually
super
brought
interesting.
Yeah, you brought this to my attention. I never heard of it before either. And yeah, I love the concept. I don't know exactly how it works, or if, I don't know, because you have to use the shoe, and using the shoe makes you money, but at the same time you have to repair your shoe. So I think you have to spend money to repair it, so it doesn't get overused or yada yada.
Yeah.
And in that repair fund is how they pay out. I'm not sure, because obviously, and when you upgrade, I guess they're getting paid back, or they're taking a portion. And every NFT sale, it's pretty interesting concept how they came up with it.
Yeah.
And then I started looking into it more, because move to earn is very new concept. So there are hardly any projects out there, like at all. There's this one and one big one, or one that has a lot of following right now, that's coming out soon. I think it's called Defy. And those are the only 2 I've seen, but Steppen's the only one that's out right now. Super interesting.
Yeah, I've seen a couple try to kind of hop on this thing. Let me see if I can pull some of them up. but they're not near as big and they don't seem near as credible, which obviously you don't want to get scammed in this kind of space. So, like one I saw, which was like not running based but bicycle based, was like Go Ride. Like they're pretty new right now, a relatively low following on Twitter and everything, but I'm gonna kind of keep my eyes on a couple of these different guys. But
Are they on
Steppen,
Solana as well?
I believe so. But Steppen, that one's huge. Like it's difficult to even get to a point where you can buy one. Like me and Ryan, because you got to like redeem codes to get into it, which I think is a nice little thing they added. It adds a sense of like exclusivity and everything. Like being able to join their community, it's kind of a bit of work. You got to sit there and kind of work at it for a minute. But
yeah, and it keeps the servers and such from crashing because they don't have a huge influx of people hearing about it. You have to get a code that's generated every few minutes or whatever it was, and once you get those, it slowly lets people in. It's pretty genius.
Yeah, very interesting concept. But a lot of the more common utilities that I'm seeing right now is staking. It seems like almost every NFT project is coming out with a new way to stake their NFT to earn some type of their own little crypto. Now, whether or not that's worth it, it's kind of up in the air because you never really know if their particular coin is going to turn out to be worth anything. I don't know. I'm not going to name out any names, but like I know when me and Ron were first getting in this space, we kind of got invested into a couple projects here and there that their token or whatever did not maintain their value or wasn't quite as stable as we would like them to have been. So, we've made some money in that space and everything. I'm not going to name that particular project. I'm still a bit hopeful. It's not a complete and utter bust. It's just not the returns that we were expecting. So
and it like you said, it is what it is. And I kind of made a short and TikTok about this recently, but basically we take our losses as is at this point, and we take it as a learning lesson. We paid to learn a little bit about the NFT space. From that one project, we learned so much and what to avoid, what to look out for, tons and tons of information, even though it was a bust or a partial bust. We didn't get as much gains as we hoped. And we actually did lose money, or so far we are losing money, so we still hold on to it. But you got to think of it like that. You pay a little bit of money to learn something, and we learned a ton out of it. So in that aspect, it still had a ton of value.
Yeah, I think that was both of our first projects, like NFT project that we bought into.
It was definitely mine.
Yeah,
and I was so hyped for it. I was so ready based on the concept. I'm like, this is genius. I'm like, I'm gonna break it rich. This is genius. And
that goes back to one of our videos on how to evaluate an NFT. We missed one of the aspects, which was kind of their marketing campaign. They didn't have as good a marketing campaign as I found other people. Conceptually, they're very sound, but because they weren't able to market and get as much as a following as they would have liked, they had to change certain things around because not enough initial funds was sent in through the mint and everything. So it kind of threw everything off simply because they weren't able to market properly. Conceptually, they were a very sound project. That's why we got invested early on. We were one of the first people in. But that marketing kind of fell through, and that's such an important part in this space. Like I've been following a couple different projects recently. They're creating mega spaces on Twitter. Like you can go listen in. It's like a little talk room or something. I've joined one of those earlier today, actually, just kind of listen in on people's pitches and everything. There's a couple interesting projects out there. One I recently just heard on a space called Hydro Whales. Throw that name out there. I haven't bought in. I'm thinking about buying in, but they are conceptually similar to the ones that we bought in and kind of lost a bit of money, but they have more of a following. They're clearly doing more in their marketing space. So, these are kind of things you got to consider.
Yeah, and the NFT space, like we've said 100 times, is so new. There's so much to explore. There's so much much new information, so many new ideas that are coming out constantly about this. And for that reason, there's a lot of ways you could really overnight make a lot of money, but there's also a ton of, probably 10, 100,000 times more ways that you could lose money. So you still got to be careful. Well, it's definitely exciting, and we're excited, and we've made our mistakes. Don't you worry. We will continue to make mistakes, and you probably will as well. So don't risk it all on one project that sounds great. Because trust me, I tried to, but luckily I have a wife to hold me back a little bit. But it was, I wanted to put everything in it. I'm like, this sounds so good. Yeah, the marketing aspect wasn't there, and so no one heard about them, so they didn't sell out. So there wasn't the money, the pool of money that he talked about spreading to the its owners, its holders, that the whole thing just kind of fell apart because they didn't have that pool of money they thought they were going to have.
Yeah.
And so thank goodness I put a little bit of money. I paid a little bit for that education, that speed course, and not a ton of money on it. So
sure. That's a thing to consider. You know, these projects that are kind of offering passive income, which is super appealing to us. You know, we're being like dividend investors and everything, looking for supplementary income, working towards that financial freedom. You know, passive income NFTs is a logical step almost. Look at how people are kind of planning on sourcing that payout. You know, like I've heard of some different projects that are planning on opening their own secondary market sites, like how OpenSea. Every transaction on OpenSea that you do, which is just a big secondary market for those who don't know, they do a little transaction fee. Like I think it's like 2.5% or something like that, or somewhere around there.
Oh yeah.
But you know, they're trading millions a day, so they're making tons of money a day. In this new NFT that I heard about, they're creating their own space. They got a bit of a following, but they're pretty new, and they're gonna create a series of NFTs, and their holders of NFTs are going to get their payouts, like how OpenSea was funded by angel investors and those type of just what's the word I'm looking for, type of investor.
Like a whale?
No, it's what are the sharks on Shark Tank? I feel like there was a word, something investor. I don't know. But they have investors, and OpenSea pays their initial investors what they
stockholders.
Some kind of like that, but there's a term I can't remember. But they pay out their investors part of that like royalties or charge that they make. Well, this NFT is going to do the same thing. So that's a way that you can obviously see, okay, that's how they're funding their payouts and everything.
And you want to be a little bit careful. I guess another warning we could say that we found, or we started to notice recently, is so there's no, like real estate, there's likes, there's every house is different, but there's likes, there's a lot of likes, so you can take what they call comps, and you can compare within a short range very similar properties. Okay, you have a 3-bedroom 2-bath, they have a 3-bedroom 2-bath next door, and the next one over is from that also is a 3-bedroom 2-bath, and they're selling for 400. Okay, your house is roughly worth 400. NFTs isn't the same way. They don't really have those comps the same, and there's so much creativity that people can put whatever price they want. Even if it's a great idea, just be careful that it's still worth its value, because at some point they could overvalue it, and it's no longer worth Apple. One of the most profitable, best companies out there to buy into, if they start pricing their iPhones at $10 million per, no one's going to buy it, and they're going to lose all their money.
There's going to be a couple of hype beasts that insist, like, I only buy iPhone. But
it's just that. Don't, be careful and run the numbers or look around and make sure that they're not off their rocker put what the price, because that's what I mentioned is we've kind of noticed some projects are coming out with some good ideas, of course, but they're starting to price them a lot higher than they started out. And especially secondary projects, once they know they have a little bit of a following, they're pricing them high and going, oh, you kind of want to buy this. It's exclusive. Nobody owns this. And then people are buying in, but it could be a big bust, or it's not worth that value. So be careful on that too.
Yeah. And before you buy into a project, one thing that I would definitely look into is the team's plan to maintain a healthy floor price. Because a lot of people, once they're done with their mint, their floor price on OpenSea, like what their lowest one is selling for, is going to be lower than their mint, and that's not what you want. That's a bad investment, obviously. So people have different plans for that. A lot of them are charging like royalties in their sales, and they're going to use a percentage of that royalties to sweep the floor and help maintain it or whatever. I know Solana, you can do it tiered, where like if you at least I believe I've seen this happen, where if you like list at or below their mint price, they could charge you like 50% royalty, versus if you charge or are selling it above mint price, they'll only charge you like a 5 to 10% royalty. I believe that can only be done on Solana. At least I know it can't be done on OpenSea. I talked to some creators that said they couldn't do that. Just because I was curious, I asked them how they plan on maintaining their floor. Like, one of the projects I've actually been keeping an eye on recently is it's called Respected Rhinos, and in their community they just started minting, I think 2 days ago, and they've minted about 600 already, less than 2 days ago. Their grand supply I think is 5,500, but they already have members in their community doing giveaways. So that's kind of something that I found super interesting, is like members will sign up for slots. Like anybody that mints from 500 to 700, you know, I'm going to give away another Respected Rhino to one of you guys randomly. And that's just from the members alone. And then, of course, the devs, the actual team behind it, they've been doing a ton of giveaways that I've been seeing. So that kind of thing is just interesting to see. And they have a nice little plan to keep their floor price healthy. So that's a project that I've kind of been keeping an eye on.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
But that's just something to consider. You know, some of these projects, if you're looking to, because I was actually considering, you know, doing a little short series or whatever about flipping NFTs. So I've actually bought a couple NFTs in the past couple days, but they're ones I don't particularly want to flip anymore because I think they're a bit of a longer term hold. So that being said, I'll do another NFT giveaway for this video. Alright guys, so I'm actually going to pause the video right there because it took us a couple minutes to talk out how we wanted to structure this giveaway, but we decided on a tiered system, so the more views and likes we get, the better the rewards for you guys. So if we reach 150 views and 20 likes, we'll give away any NFT valued below 0.05 ETH, and then 400 views, 50 likes, anything between 0.05 and 0.1 ETH, 1,000 views and 100 likes, anything valued between 0.1 and 0.3 ETH, and then anything over 1,500 views, we'll do all of the previously mentioned NFT giveaways and an additional giveaway of any NFT valued less than 0.5 ETH. So some pretty good giveaways, but this is going to end in 2 weeks' time, guys. So, you know, from today, we're going to come back in 2 weeks and look where we are, view and likewise, and we'll do a drawing between those who liked and subscribed. And you'll be able to DM us on Twitter your wallet address and what NFT you'd like, and we'll just send it to you. So it doesn't have to be one in our particular portfolio, but if you're curious, some of the ones we bought into are like Hydro Whales Mining Club, Respected Rhinos, Trolls Town, Degen Kids, just to name a few. But if you can find one that's being minted or is listed on a secondary market for any of the values that we reach and these milestones, then we'll buy that and send it to you guys. So be sure to share this and obviously like and subscribe. So
that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
I'll do that kind of tiered system.
Like this video, comment, share it on all your social media, send it to a friend, send it to a buddy. Help us out so we can help you out.
Yeah. And subscribe as well.
Let's see if I create a lot of fake accounts and make me some NFTs.
Yeah, Ryan's the one that wins the NFT.
No, yeah, guys, that'd be awesome. So obviously we want you guys to like this video, subscribe to our channel. We love doing this. As you guys can see, we're pretty passionate about all this stuff, and investing, NFTs, all of that's very exciting for us, and we look forward to what comes in the future. So if you guys can keep it going, keep us going, you guys fuel our fire. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and go ahead and share this video. Win an NFT.
Yeah, let's see it.
Thanks, guys.
Now what the hell's an NFT? Apparently cryptocurrency. Everyone's making so much money. Can you please explain what's an NFT?